that I really don't think we need to put on this. And it's not even that it was bad, it was just really bizarre even for us.
Yeah.
And it was Dirk. That's the worst part. So if you're watching live, then you got to hear that. So congratulations, let's say. Huh.
Everyone who was watching live, tell everybody else that it was awesome, so they'll come and hang out next time.
Huh. And if you're watching this on YouTube, see, you should come watch live. Or listen live, because there's really not much to see. It's just our little cartoons.
Well, they don't move. Thing like that.
Chat says, if I watch later, well, I'll be able to unhear it. Well, it won't be there if you watch later, so... Unless you're watching... Well, no, you can't watch it on Twitch later, because I always delete the VOD for this podcast, so... Yeah. Anyway, okay, that's a minute and some seconds of recording. We're probably good. Let's start the show. Here we go. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 581 of the Mana Pool, and I have lost my damn mind. I am Chewie,
That's
the lead
not
dork.
news.
It's really not, no. For those
That's the news program.
Yeah, that was on Monday night. For those that don't know, we've had horrible weather here in this state today, and I've been out driving around doing the DoorDash thing all day. We had a tornado warning.
Yes.
And I hit DoorDash and said, I'll take an order, and I went out. Granted, my first order was a 10 miles away, but it was 10 miles in the direction of not a tornado warning. So I was like, yep. So by the time I got back, warning had passed. All right, now it's just rain. I can handle that. But yeah, I've been out wandering around in the rain all day, and it's a very strange day. But anyway, so I'm not alone here. There are these other dorks. Hi, dorks!
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm the lead Rambler Tangent Master of the group. Yeah, it's been a weird one, but we're here bringing it to you live and in person, and ain't nothing gonna get us down.
Oh no, we got to keep on moving.
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and game lore guy, and I intended to insert some kind of joke based on the theme song for The Greatest American Hero, but now I've totally blanked on the words and the tune and everything.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on it.
There it is, yes, but the moment has passed.
I am Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And yes, today has been an amazingly weird day.
That was one way to put it.
I think the best way to describe it is if you find a meme that says, and meanwhile, here in North Carolina, and if you see a glass window, like a glass door, and there is essentially a lake with fish that are underwater that you can see underwater out this glass door. That's a good description of the way this day has kind of been.
Yeah. Also, if you want to just, instead of going visual, since it's an audio podcast, if you want to describe around here today, moist.
Moist. Moist would be the word. Let's say it again.
Moist. Anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, this is, like I said, episode 581. We are doing the final Mythic Conscription of the Urza block, which would be Urza's Destiny. And if you're like me, I was not playing during Urza block, and I just realized this today. If you want to remember the order that the sets in the Urza block happen. It's Urza's Saga first, which is the whole story, and then Urza's Legacy, and the Legacy is what happened in the past. It's what he's known for, his legacy, you know? And then his Destiny is what happens in the future. It's what he's gonna do. So if it's whole story, past, future. Boom. That's how you remember the order that these sets came in. Or I guess you could do something like SLD. Salad.
There we go.
Salad.
Urza made a mighty fine salad.
Except it blew up the kitchen because that's what Urza does.
That, yeah.
Anyway, right, let's get to it.
I feel like there's a Ron White joke in there somewhere. They call me Urza Salad.
Wow. Would Urza's salad be one of those mayonnaise-based things? Because I hate all of those. Egg
As
salad.
long as it caused you intense internal pain. Yes.
Accurate. And since it's Urza, it would be external pain, too.
There you go.
But I really like chicken salad, potato salad, shrimp salad, egg salad. I hate all that crap. Ugh. So I'm going to
You
guess
hate egg
Urza's salad
salad?
is... Do what?
You hate egg salad.
I hate eggs, so yes, I definitely hate egg salad because it's eggs and mayonnaise. That sounds disgusting, and I wish I could vomit right now. I'm pretty sure Urza's salad would just be like a big tub of mayonnaise. I'm so glad Squee's not here, because Squee would have actually just vomited. What was that, Mike?
I was going to say with an unstable power stone.
Anyway, right, let's get to it. So, white has some stuff in it.
It does.
Yeah.
So does blue.
Like, the Academy Rector is the first thing that jumps out because of historical...
Yeah. What's it do?
So I just saw Stark say in chat, Urza just eating mayonnaise out of the jar with a spoon. Why does anyone like this character?
See, they got to put characters in the game that people can really identify with.
Like robots.
Yeah, and the guy at the card shop that you always get paired against and you really don't ever want to speak to. And Urza. Anyway, so yeah, like I said. Do what?
What's the Academy Rector do?
I don't know. Let's read the actual...
The Academy
proper
Rector
text.
cheats on mana horribly.
Yes, so for 3 and a white, she's a 1/2. Yay. When Academy Rector dies, you may exile it. If you do, search your library for an enchantment card, put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library.
Wow, it's almost like she's better dead, but yeah. Any enchantment in your deck for free.
Yep.
Yeah. Gets around counter magic once you get her out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gets around well, lots of things actually.
Lots of things.
I feel like with her it's really tough because history shows us that this is broken in half. So,
yeah.
But
Maybe a tutor to the battlefield effect would have recognized that as mythic worthy, but the fact that they printed it at all means they didn't understand what was going on. I think we run into this problem a lot when we talk about cards that obviously no one understood properly when it was designed and printed.
Right. I will say I had Academy Rector as a question mark. I had a lot of question marks when I was doing this. Another question mark here I had was Opalescence because of its effect on the game, at least potentially. Now, for the record, I feel like Opalescence is fine at rare, but I wonder if they would have said to hammer home. Okay, well, okay, so opalescence. Let's pull up uh, some oracle text for 2 and 2 white. It's an enchantment. Each other non-aura enchantment is a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. So, all of your enchantments, other than opalescence, which is important because it keeps opalescence harder to destroy, becomes a creature. I feel like this could potentially be mythic because it has a huge impact on the game, assuming that you have done anything with your deck to allow for enchantments. Plus, it can mess with other people's enchantments. Makes it a little easier to remove a creature. You know, it's a lot. Hey, Mike, I can kill your stasis with Wrath of God because, haha. You know, that's kind of important because screw a stasis. But also, it plays into the theme of the set, which not everybody got that this was an enchantment set, but it was. And this, you know, is a central headliner of that. Oh, you know, this whole block you've been playing with enchantments, and now your enchantments are also dudes. So I feel like it's got some potential. Printed today, absolutely a rare, but mythic then? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think so, definitely.
I
Because
can't
it's
remember what we said for Titania's song, which is the same thing but for artifacts.
I think I know at least one of us tried to make the case for it. It might have been me.
That sounds like something Mike would do.
I can't remember it all because it's been a long time since we did whatever set that. I don't even remember what set that was.
Yeah, and we don't always maintain any kind of internal or external logic. So.
No, not at all.
Are there any other cards in white that somebody thinks might be mythic? Dark, what about you?
I would say the Academy Rector. I would definitely agree with that. Opalescence. I can get behind that one as well.
Okay.
Nothing else here really strikes me.
Is anybody?
I mean, they're not bad, but they're all common effects.
What?
Is
I
anybody?
think Brian was trying to get someone to say replenish.
I was gonna say, is anybody gonna try and make a case for replenish?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would definitely say replenish.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like waving my mouse around it while Dirk is going, nah, I'm going with this one. This one.
Well, I mean, to me, replenish strikes me very much as, was it empty the graveyard? What's it the one that's everyone goes around, picks a creature type, and all those creatures of that type get put on the battlefield?
Bidding?
Patriarch's bidding.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's...
That affects potentially all players. Replenish.
There's no T.
Replenish. It's just the way
just does your graveyard.
It's like both and both. Some people pronounce it both.
Yeah.
Both? There's no L in both.
I know. Drives you crazy, doesn't it? You can't not hear it now. But
yeah, I just know. I've never heard it before, but I'm going to hear it tomorrow and I'll be like, oh my God.
One of the guys on a radio show I listen to says both. And I'm like, at first it bothered me and now I'm just used to hearing it. But replenish
I first heard that in the Breakfast Club. And I really wanted to punch. Bender. Who's the guy who plays Bender?
I don't know. I've never actually seen that movie the whole way through. I've seen bits and parts of it. I've also never seen 16 Candles or most of the other stuff he's done.
Lord. Anyway.
Dan Harmon.
Hey, Mike, what does Replenish do?
Replenish, for 3 and a white, it's a sorcery. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has reminder text that auras with nothing to enchant stay in the graveyard. But yes, it's a giant resurrect effect for your enchantments, just you.
Yeah. Because Dirk was mentioning Patriarch's Bidding. Patriarch's Bidding has a chance for everyone potentially to get something back, even if maybe you're the guy playing it and you're like, "Hey, zombies!" and I've got I've got a way to like destroy all the non-zombies. Still, just printed on the card, it can be a global resurrect. This is only for you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that
I
was
can-
actually after I saw Academy Rector and my eyes sort of glazed over white or glanced over white. I went, "Oh, yeah."
glaze. I feel like replenish could be.
I feel like Replenish has more chance of being mythic than Opalescence just because it's Well, at the time were there enchantments that mattered that much?
In this block,
Oh, right. Yeah, we're in ours. Stupid. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me.
replenish was a deck.
It was, yeah. Huh. Opalescence is got the weird factor though.
Hmm.
That feels like that would sort of tip it into mythic, but also I can see why it would have just
Yeah.
been a rare as well.
But it's not just weird; it is actually powerful because you suddenly have a bunch of several things on the battlefield that
That
you know,
weren't
the
there a
whole
second ago. That can
yeah, the
attack.
whole reason you played them was for the powerful ability that's printed on them. But now they're big square-statted creatures as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it's not powerful and it's just weird, but it seems like those two things put together would have pushed it more into mythic. I think. Given that, like Mike said, they probably didn't understand Academy Rector's power, I don't think it would have been mythic, although you could make the case that it should have been.
Maybe, because I can't remember whether we had wondered, would they have made more of these tutor effects mythic if the mythic rarity existed. I can't remember whether we've wondered about that before.
Possibly? That sounds familiar. So the others in white are Master Healer. No. He's like almost an uncommon.
Right.
Flicker, which I think is an uncommon these days.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean-
it's a common effect nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
False Prophet, which is when it dies, you exile all creatures.
Which is cool, but not mythic.
Not mythic.
Yeah, I remember this was the card that they put in like magazine advertisements for the set.
Weird.
And then Tethered Griffin.
Yeah, and then Tethered Griffin, which is just 1 mana 2/3, but it's got a pretty serious check on it.
Hmm.
Right. It feels a lot like there's the 1 mana 2/2 of flying from Mirrodin 2 that you can't attack unless you have an artifact. So this feels like that.
Yeah. So it's a 1 mana 2/3 flyer, Griffin, but when you control no enchantments, you sacrifice it. Which means you can't even really play it until turn 2 if you've got another 1-drop enchantment to play first.
Right. If it was artifact, there are free artifacts, but
Yeah.
Oh, I remember why False Prophet was in magazine advertisements. It was the pre-release promo for this set.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. All right. So we've got 3 definite possibilities.
Mhm.
Yeah. Probably 2 of which would have... I think Opalescence and Replenish are probably the yes. And
Yeah.
the Rector is a maybe, since we're not sure if they quite understood its power back then.
Hmm.
But maybe. Okay, blue? We good in white?
I think
Yeah.
we're good in white.
Yeah.
So blue. All right,
Well-
so black.
What you talking about? Blue has Aura Thief.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it does have a legendary creature as well.
It's got a couple things. I was just being silly.
Aura Thief. No, not Aura Thief. Maybe
No.
Aura Thief. Actually, now that I've read Aura Thief, I'm like, is that what that does?
What's it do?
It's a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. 3 and a blue 2/2 flyer. That says when it dies, gain control of all enchantments.
Feels alright at rare to me, but
Yeah. I don't think I realized what the card did.
That's pretty neat.
That is neat. You've got so the most obviously, or one of the two. There's two here that are like obviously powerful, based on history. Are Donate, which is only powerful because of some stupid card from Ice Age.
right.
Right.
Which
And
is
it has
Illusion's
recently
Ranger.
been printed as a red rare.
Really?
Yeah. Remember
Yeah. It's got the little dog on it, and you're like, oh,
Wait,
and then you're like, wait a minute, there's something
Mike-
wrong with.
did you say the name of the card? Because you blinked out just as you did.
No, I didn't. I couldn't remember the name, so I said, "You remember the little kitten
Oh,
with
it's
the
a
weird
kitten,
mouth,
right.
with the weird Eldrazi mouth on its tail?"
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Harmless offering.
Harmless
Thank
Offering.
you, chat. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, chat.
So, but yeah, Donate is probably fine because it's just a stupid card by
Yeah.
itself.
For me, I wonder because, cards that stand out as, nothing has really done this before, catch my eye when thinking about Mythic Conscriptions.
Yeah.
But there were a couple spells in the game where you could exchange stuff. So maybe not Donate.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely not Donate. I don't think.
Again, it's skewed, like Chewie said, by its interaction with another card. So
Yeah, with an old stupid card that no one had thought about until Donate. Yeah, Treachery is the obvious one for me
Hmm.
because a lot of these untap things are really good. Plus, it's a it's a free control magic, or
Yeah.
it's a control magic that generates mana, which is dumb. But all of these free things were dumb.
yeah.
You could probably actually just upshift all of them by one rarity, and they would all be fine. So there are no common ones. Those are all uncommon. Just whoop.
Hmm.
Plus, Treachery is really good.
It is.
Because for 5 mana, well, once you hit 5 mana, you can just take a creature from your opponent and then still have all of your mana.
Yeah.
It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm definitely on board with treachery. So treacherous.
And the other one was Opposition?
Yes.
Because Opposition's powerful?
Powerful.
Yeah, I wondered
and
about that.
Potentially extremely oppressive. I don't know if it's controlled by the fact that you have to have creatures to make it work, but so opposition for 2 and 2 blue. It's an enchantment, and it has just one ability: tap an untapped creature you control. Tap target artifact, creature, or land, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like treachery, if 1 out of 5, where 0 is there's no way that it's mythic, and 5 is like it is mythic, I feel like treachery is a 4, and opposition is like a 3.5, maybe. What do you guys think?
I know that Opposition decks have been a thing,
Hmm.
but I don't know if they were a thing at this point because again, this was when I wasn't
Yeah,
playing.
because It was a scroll prison. It was deranged hermit generated all the creatures to start locking your opponent down.
And when was Deranged Hermit printed?
There's a legacy.
Ah, right.
So it didn't take very long for the opposition deck to appear.
So that's a discussion.
Yeah.
Still not sure. Like where that? Oh, look, I made it bigger. Where that falls, as far as those two go, but I think they're both solid contenders.
Yeah, opposition would go either way, but I would put treachery higher. And honestly, everything else except for Blizzard Elemental, I'm perfectly happy at rare.
Is Blizzard Elemental uncommon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I think maybe if Rain was printed in a set like Dominaria, she might be uncommon, but she makes sense as rare here.
I don't even remember what she does exactly. Let's go to the proper wording. So for 2 and a blue, she's a 1/1 legendary human wizard. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. You may draw an additional card if Rain Academy Chancellor is enchanted. That's a whole lot of words
To maybe draw some cards.
to maybe draw some cards.
I mean, I'm usually one when we're doing this. I'm like, hey, look at the legendary creatures, and especially legendary creatures that are important to the story. She is the daughter of what's his face.
Oh, yeah, his face.
The daughter, she's Baron's wife, right?
Oh, okay, wife. That's right.
Hannah is Baron's daughter.
That's right. Okay, so she's important, but I feel like this effect it's okay. It doesn't strike me as like mythic, you know.
Yeah.
Whoa, I just realized what she is.
What's that?
She's Final Fantasy's blue magic. Like Strago, however you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever magic gets used against you, he learns that spell, but instead she just draws you some cards. Hey!
It's if you're gonna go with that, I'm gonna say Celes from 6. It's like runic, except it doesn't counter the spell, does it? So,
Clearly, I was bad at Final Fantasy 6 because I never used runic.
it was if you played lots of magic yourself, be careful because she'll trigger off of yours. So that doesn't make you bad.
Huh. Except when I went to the Tower of whatever, then I used runic.
Or fanatics.
Yeah, I can't remember what the actual name of it, but yeah, that one. The one where you can't take weapons. I'd be like, okay, we're gonna everyone heal up. You use your runic. Anyway. What else do we have in blue? Nothing.
Temporal Adept, who is not...
Who's a rare in multiple sets.
Yeah.
Not a bad ability, not myth.
Yeah. And Blizzard Elemental?
Uncommon.
Yeah. 7 mana, 5/5 flyer. 5 and 2 blue. And for 3 and a blue, you can untap it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think this was oh crap, we're 1 rare short in blue. Oh well. Okay, so black.
So black is interesting because Yawgmoth's Bargain, and then there's some other stuff here that I think is maybe interesting, but Yawgmoth's Bargain.
Oh yeah.
Because Yawgmoth's Bargain for 4 and 2 black. I'm not going to read the Oracle text because I doubt that this has changed. It's an enchantment. and you skip your draw step. Oh, and you can also pay 1 life to draw a card anytime you want.
Yeah. So, and you're right. The Oracle text is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark Rosewater has gone on the record saying that yes, he designed this card, or worked with others to design it because he liked Necropotence, but he felt like it was a little too powerful, and it was also a little clunky with all the wording. So they came up with this, and it cost twice as much.
Surely no one would play it. It costs 6.
It cost 6.
But what if it cost 3 and a white and could appear out of your library anytime you wanted?
Or out
Holy
of
crap.
or out of your graveyard. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Once they've actually destroyed it. But I mean, even for 6, because we have Dark Ritual. It's fine.
It's
The card is
fine.
fine. Yawgmoth's Bargain is busted in half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's a fixed Necropotence. One of the most powerful things ever given to Black.
Yeah, the part, for those who don't remember off the top of their heads, the clunky stuff about Necropotence that Mark wanted to get rid of, one, you just set aside the cards from the top of your library. You didn't actually get them into your hand until the end of your turn. And 2, whenever you discarded something, you had to exile it. He just thought that was just words, and he wanted to smooth it out a bit. Unfortunately, those 2 things, especially the first one about having to wait to get the cards, were extremely important balancing elements for Necropotence, as powerful as it was. And when you take that away, you just get to sit there and do whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. And one of those things you want is going to be draw 19 cards.
Psst, Mike,
Yes.
you're at 18.
Oh. I guess then I could only legally activate that 18 times. My bad.
Either way, he's dead. So, yeah, I think Yawgmoth's Bargain is kind of the big, like, duh.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in here. Like, Phyrexian Negator is well known for being a powerhouse in, like, Suicide Black decks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because it's a 3-mana 5/5 with trample that's got other words on it, but you don't care because you're hitting them in the face.
Yeah, I looked at Negator and I'm like, hmm.
But unfortunately, the other words are, when Phyrexian Negator is dealt damage, sacrifice a permanent for each damage dealt to it. So, Lightning Bolt becomes a serious concern.
When wasn't there a black? Was it was a fear? Was there a fear enchantment you could throw on it?
Yeah, there are ways to give it fear.
Because the fear was unless it can hit players unless you have a black or artifact creature. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the old ability?
Yeah, only black creatures and artifact creatures could block something with fear. And there were creature enchantments and other effects that could give that.
Yeah. Now, yeah, chat just pointed out, you can swamp Dark Ritual Phyrexian Negator. A 5/5 on turn 1 sounds awful for your opponent. And it is.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they have anything at all. It's like a shock means you sacrifice the swamp and the negator.
Yeah, it's
Because it
very high
doesn't say
risk.
sacrifice another permanent.
Yeah, so you can and you might want to at some point sacrifice this as one of those permanents.
Yeah. But then, also, I'm sure there were a lot of decks that couldn't just point damage at it, which is why it became a thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't have become a thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's very high risk, but very high reward. Very.
Yeah, and I think the high risk is the balancing act that makes it not mythic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe?
It's super flashy. It might have gotten there on the flash.
It is pretty flashy. What do you mean a 3-mana 5/5 with trample? That's green, right? What? Like, also, look at that art. I always love the Phyrexian Negator art.
It's great.
That is just, and I don't mean this in the way that you think, but that is just sexy. And not in the way in that it causes sexual thoughts. Not for me anyway. If it does for you, hey, stay away from my kids. But it really is
It's got
just
some of that LS Norn vibe going on.
Oh. But yeah, anyway. Other stuff. I like a bunch of these cards. Like Body Snatcher is one of my favorites, but I don't think it's mythic.
It's really cool, but I don't
It's
know
really cool. Attrition is another one that's a lot of fun and really powerful, but I don't think it's mythic either. Like Attrition is the black enchantment that says pay a black and sack a creature to destroy target non-black creature. And Body Snatcher is a 4-mana 2/2 that when it enters the battlefield, you discard a card. And then when the Body Snatcher dies, you exile it and get a creature from your graveyard back to the battlefield. So it's powerful, but not like nuts. And a Princess Necromancer, no.
Got a comment in the chat about Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls, you can do truly ridiculous things with Carnival of Souls, especially in multiples. But if you don't do a ridiculous thing with Carnival of Souls, you are going to lose.
Yeah.
You are going to lose so bad.
Yep.
So what does Carnival of Souls do?
So for 1 and a black, it's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, oh my God, has it always said that? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you lose 1 life and add a black mana. I always thought it was under your control.
No.
Yes, Dark, that's what I thought. Oh my God.
No. Just says in general.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the flavor text in the art, Devol, blast those elves. Devol, transport those troops. No one cares that today is my birthday. Poor Devol. But yeah, and it doesn't say may lose 1 life.
Yeah, it was even more dangerous when Mana Burn was a part of the game.
Oh God, yeah.
'Cause if your
adding the
opponent-
black to your
Yeah.
mana pool.
Because like for every creature your opponent plays, you might be losing. You're definitely going to lose 1 life. You might be losing another one. You
Right.
just have to sit there like. Ugh.
Unless you have a sink.
Mm-hmm.
So that card's neat and all, but it's not like a mythic level of anything.
No.
It's a mythic level of hilarious flavor text in a not silver bordered set, but
Yeah.
to not be a goblin. So nah. So I guess, are we good on black?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Rapid Decay.
Uncommon.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to
Possibly.
say, oh, we missed one. Oh, no, we didn't.
Possibly common.
Not for 3 cards at instant speed
Yeah.
with cycling. Yeah, that's not. It's a little too
Okay.
complicated for common.
All right,
Okay.
so in red. All right, so green.
Hey,
Chuck isn't
red.
mythic, but he's here. We have to say something.
Oh, yeah, this is where Chuck shows up for the first time. Bloodshot Cyclops.
Good old Chuck.
Yep.
Covetous Dragon. because it's a big dragon that is at the time undercosted.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been, because unlike the
Why?
tethered griffin, this is a 4 and a red for a 6/5 flyer. But when you control no artifacts, you sacrifice it. But as Brian has pointed out, there are free artifacts and, extremely cheap artifacts.
Yeah, and
That-
Grim Monolith.
Yeah, things that you would have played before the Covetous Dragon, unlike the Tethered Griffin, where you want to just drop that.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that being like the big red dragon of the set, because, the art is literally a big red dragon, and it's arcade post art. So I can see that being like one of the blam, check this out, mythics, but
Yep.
really it's just a French vanilla creature. Like, although you have to remember, this is Urza block when creatures weren't good.
Yes, this was still the phase of the game when creatures weren't all that hot compared to spells.
Yeah, so a 5 mana 6/5 flyer is actually completely nuts back then.
Covetous Dragon was part of Pro Tour level decks at the time.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Nice.
Partly because you could run it out even earlier with a Grim Monolith. That would also
That's
keep
a
it on the
good
board.
point.
So Stark asks, when did creatures start to get good? Past Ravnica seems a bit far, but he could be right.
I think you started to see some of it in Onslaught when creatures were pushed a little more with the tribal theme,
Yeah.
but you still see a lot of old-fashioned level creatures in that block.
I can't remember. I remember that they said, hey, it's like spells have been the primary force in Magic for a long time. We're actually going to change that. But I don't remember when that was.
I want to say around Onslaught block. It was shortly after I got started.
Because after Onslaught was
Mirrodin.
Mirrodin, and then Ravnica. So yeah, in that range of time,
Then Kamigawa.
then Kamigawa.
And then Ravnica. So that's like, a full year and change. Maybe
Yeah,
Onslaught is
yeah,
when they
that's it.
started the transition, and then,
And then it took a few more years to
yeah.
solidify it.
Yeah, you might be right, Stark. It might have been around Ravnica was when they actually started to make obvious changes. Can't remember.
Oh, Sky Tonic mentioned Wildfire. That was also part of the deck that Covetous Dragon was in.
Oh, the Wildfire deck. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And it survives
Yes.
Wildfire.
It does, because Wildfire deals 4, right?
4.
Yeah. Sort of like Ollie Rod's deck that won a Pro Tour, 1,000 years ago, because he played a bunch of 2/3s, and Pyroclasm was the main clear.
Yes.
So all he did was just play things that were crappy creatures that had 3 toughness, and he won that whole thing because Pyroclasm didn't kill them. So you put Covetous Dragon in your Wildfire deck and go, I like it. Chat also brought up Repercussion earlier. For 1 red is an enchantment. Let's read the proper text. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, Repercussion deals that much damage to that creature's controller. It's literally the same. Huh. I don't think that's mythic. It's really cool. Is it? I don't think so.
You on my end, you blinked out for a minute. What did you say?
Is Repercussion mythic? Was essentially. I don't think so, but you could persuade me if you want
I
to.
I kind of had a question mark next to it.
It does suddenly make the game a lot more dangerous.
That is very true. Like it warps the way you play the game, because suddenly blocking still hurts you.
Yeah, blocking is no good defensively, but blocking is actually pretty good defensively. It's like, well, I guess I'll take 3 anyway, but you're going to take 3.
Nerd. Huh. Okay, I can see repercussion possibly being mythic. What is Wake of Destruction? I've never even seen this card.
Wake of Destruction is really interesting.
It's flashy.
Okay, go ahead.
For 3 and 3 red, sorcery, destroy target land and all lands with the same name as that land. That feels incredibly oppressive against monocolored decks or decks that have a 1 or 2 color decks with a certain threshold of basic lands.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I think it's mythic? No.
No?
But I'm like you. I was actually in getting ready for this. I'm like, well, that's a cool name. Oh, it's expensive. Oh, that's a kind of powerful effect. Not a mythic effect, but feels pretty big. I don't think I'd ever seen it before.
Wow, and it's got very Tolkien-esque, like the goblins in Tolkien flavor text. Like in The Hobbit. Those goblins. Land charred black, rivers boiled, crops and wells alike despoiled, mountains leveled, forests felled, footprints of the beasts of Keld. Feels like something that like the goblins in the Misty Mountains would have come up with.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they had 15 birds and 5 fir trees. The feathers were fanned in the fiery breeze. I think this is actually better than that. Like,
Sounds like something Gandalf would read carved into an old wall right before the party gets attacked by someone.
right? Yeah. Anyway, there's not much going on here in red, so, we gotta find something to talk about.
Mm.
Oh, but we got Chuck. Chuck is best mythic, even if he's not mythic at all. Anyway, all right, let's go to green. I guess, right? We're done?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Some of these cards have actually been downgraded to lower rarities.
Right.
Isn't Ancient Silverback an uncommon at some
Ancient
point?
Silverback was reprinted as uncommon in a core set later.
Yeah.
Emperor Crocodile was moved to common for Eternal Masters. And Thorn Elemental was uncommon in Dominaria.
Right. So Thorn Elemental.
Wait, did you say Thorn Elemental was in Dominaria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I forget that, or did I never know that?
Apparently.
Could have been either one.
Huh. Anyway, okay. So we do have some stuff here that's a definite possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Elvish Piper is... I remember when I was new to this game, I read Elvish Piper and went, holy crap, that's insane.
Oh man, everyone who's new to the game looks at Elvish Piper and be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
saw it, I'm like, wait. Hold up. Not to mention I started playing right as Onslaught was getting ready to get started, so elves were already the hotness. But then, wait, I have this thing that costs, 16, because even then I love Draco, and I can just put it down for free or for 1 green?
I still don't think it's mythic, but it's the most mythic to all new players.
Yeah.
It is definitely up there.
And at the time, it definitely had the potential to be.
I am
As such, and maybe it would have been downgraded later, like some of these others.
I am tripping over this kind of goofy art, though.
Yeah. Hang on, 8th edition had the art that I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
And 9th edition was the Rebecca Guay art. Okay. It was in 10th? Same art. It was in M10? Same art. It was in Masters 25? Same art. Okay, yeah. Once the Rebecca Guay art hit, they just stuck with that forever.
Yeah. It's just good.
Okay. I think the obvious one is Pattern of Rebirth.
Yeah.
Because this card is dumb.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we said that we're saying Pattern of Rebirth, and I agree with you, easy, but we were confused about Academy Rector.
Well, that's because like dropping a giant creature into play for cheap is way more obviously good. At least before this block, than than the Academy Rector. But you're right. Now that you bring that up,
Yeah.
it literally is just an Academy Rector you attach to somebody.
Basically. And it can come back with replenish.
Yeah. Hey, Dirk, you alive?
I am.
Okay. Tell us
Are
what
you happy
Pattern
about
of Rebirth
that?
does.
I was gonna mention the Pattern of Rebirth. That I thought that one cries out to me, Mythic.
Oh yeah. What's it do?
When enchanted, so it's an enchantment for 3 and a green. An enchants creature. When creature dies, that creature's controller may search their library for a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, and shuffle their library. So anything like Progenitus or an Eldrazi or anything.
Yeah, it's interesting that some later cards that did stuff like this, they balanced them a bit by saying like it can only get a green card or something. But no,
Yeah.
Pattern of Rebirth, you're right, literally anything.
And at that time, what was probably the biggest creature was what? Like what's the swamp thing?
Wait,
Force of
what?
Nature.
Yeah, Force of Nature. It
He
looks
does look like
on the
Swamp Thing,
card.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
My
that
brain
one.
was like Magic Swamps. I'm like, what? But you meant Swamp Thing. Got it. Okay.
So, but again, anything big that you had in your library, I mean, you could just, enchant the little weenie card in all this, the Elvish Piper, and say, all right, yeah, go ahead and kill the Elvish Piper. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, you put it on Elvis Piper, then they can't win. All right, kill it, and I'll go get something, but don't kill it, and I get
I'll
something.
still get something.
Sucker. What about Plow Under? Plow Under is a card that feels like every time it's printed, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's Mythic still.
I don't think it's Mythic, but again, at that time, no, because I still feel like there were still a lot of accelerations.
Well, yeah, I mean really it's land destruction that also screws up the person's draw. And you could really ruin Plow Under can really ruin someone's day.
Yeah. Because every time that it's printed and it gets used, it feels like a mistake. But then when it's not used, like you don't see it running around in Modern or anything.
Right, because it's too expensive for the impact that it has to really do anything for Modern.
Plus, Modern has lots of card draw and scrying and stuff. So
Yeah,
it doesn't screw people as bad as
things
it
that
used
cost
to.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up because it's one of those cards that every time they print it, which has only been twice, is Urza's Destiny and then again in 8th edition. It's like, damn. And then once the damn is over, it's never talked about again. What about Raphellos? What's his deal?
Maybe.
Had him down as a question mark too.
So for Raphellos, he's a legendary creature. For green, he's a 2/1 legendary elf druid. And he has an ability, tap, add a green for each forest you control. And it doesn't take very long for that to be a lot of mana.
I mean, you play him on 2, and then on 3, assuming you have another forest, you've got 6 mana.
Yeah.
So you're right, it doesn't take long. It's almost immediate.
Yeah, you're pretty much right there. But what can you play with 6 mana?
Yeah.
6
He's
green
still
mana?
he's still banned in Commander. He has been for a long time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I realized that.
Yep.
Because he's
still is.
dumb. And the fact that you could play
Wow.
him, and then if they killed him and you could play him again, is just dumb.
Yeah, for a while he was on the banned as Commander mini list, but now he's just banned.
Well, because they did away with that list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would be as oppressive in the 99. But they merged the 2 lists, so to speak. So
Yeah, he
Maybe.
seems, at least in a mono green deck, he seems kind of insane.
Mhm.
So I can see that being mythic. Also, legendary creature that does crazy things.
Right.
Because while wait, did they realize that having the ability to just make stupid amounts of mana was potentially dangerous?
no.
They put Metalwork in the same set,
Yeah.
so no.
Okay. Got it. So artifacts. Oh look, it's Metalworker.
Look at
Mother
that.
of God.
Masticore?
Maybe.
I think Masticore probably would have been mythic. I seem to remember, even though I wasn't playing Magic, I seem to remember seeing Masticore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty sure got played in our play group a couple times.
But no, I mean like at the time. Like I would see it like in magazines and stuff.
Yeah. 'Cause it's amazing.
Because it's a big, flashy, like
It does all the
marquee
thing.
card.
yeah.
Mhm. It
So-
doesn't die, and it owns all over all the other creatures.
So what does it do, somebody?
For 4 mana, it is a 4/4 artifact creature. Does it have a creature type now? Let's
It is a
find
Masticore
out.
now.
It's a Masticore now. Great. It does not have an identity crisis anymore. At the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice Masticore unless you discard a card. I mean, it is a 4/4 for 4, which back then was like
Completely ridiculous.
even green creatures didn't get that. The first, well, no, I don't want to say. I think they started to see something closer to that later, but it took a while. It also has 2 other abilities that aren't downsides. Pay 2, Masticore deals 1 damage to target creature. So if it couldn't already just beat them in combat, it just ping them away. And pay 2 to regenerate Masticore. Plus, it's an artifact. So, you know what leading kill spell at the time didn't kill it? Terror.
Yep. The black spells that didn't allow regeneration couldn't target it.
Wow.
Does Dark Banishing allow regeneration?
No.
No.
Dark Banishing can target artifact creatures, I think.
Yeah. Terror was non-black and non-artifact. Dark Banishing was just non-black, I think.
Yeah.
Would cost more. Yeah. Dark Banishing, destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. Target non-black creature can't be regenerated.
So yeah,
But
Masticore. Okay, let's go through the list again. It's a 4/4 for 4 at a time when creatures aren't good.
Yeah.
That has no color restrictions.
Right.
That's amazing. It regenerates. That's amazing. And then it pings creatures without tapping.
Yep.
That's amazing. So that's 3 amazings. Also, it dodges black removal, some of it.
I mean, it's so iconic that it has spawned other cards that are callbacks to it. And the Razor Main Masticore, R-A-Z-O-R, Razor Main Masticore in when it was printed in Mirrodin, or I'm sorry, in Fifth Dawn, was a rare, but they didn't have mythic rarity back then either. So my point is that it has spawned then takes on this. It was the progenitor to a whole long line of Masticores.
Yeah, because Masticore isn't a mythical creature type. It's Manticore.
Right.
So Masticore, this is Masticore.
Right.
And it does have the drawback. You have to sacrifice. You have to discard a card every turn.
I'll just discard an enchantment.
But, but like, with the upside totally outweighs that downside.
Yeah, because
Right.
even though you're not getting, you're not getting the +1 card from your draw step anymore, you're getting so much advantage from the removal and the regeneration that's built in to Masticore itself.
Plus, because creatures aren't that good, there were lots of ways to draw spells back then. Or to draw cards back then, rather.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't need to... With this on the board, you didn't really need to try to, have an engine to where you can keep drawing cards. Because the game's not going to go that much longer. Besides, eventually they're going to find a way to kill it, and then you'll be drawing cards again. So it's fine. But yeah, I think Masticore is an easy mythic.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was also a marquee card that they were using to push the set. Yeah.
So definitely mythic.
Okay, what else we got? So Metalworker's the other elephant in the room, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it kind of just makes mana, but
What? Oh, here's this creature that costs 3. Let me tap it for 6. And that's on a bad day.
And that's on a bad day.
yeah, sometimes I just look at a card and I wonder, what were they thinking? So what's Metal
Well,
Worker
at that
do?
time, you did have Aladdin's ring and things of that sort that cost an arm and a leg that were artifacts.
Yes. Yeah. So, Metalworker is an artifact creature that costs 3.
It's a construct now.
Yeah, it's a 1/2 construct. It has an ability. Tap. Reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand. Add 2 colorless mana for each card revealed this way.
And that is why Metalworker is the basis for a vintage deck.
Yes.
Right, because it's legal in Legacy, but you really need that handful of Moxen and whatnot to make it.
Oh, people play it in Legacy. It works.
It's not a huge thing like it is in Vintage, though.
Yeah, it's not S level. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I don't know if these huge amounts of mana things would have been I think the lands we all agreed that the Tolarian College and the Gaia's Cradle would have been mythic.
Yeah.
But Raphaelos and Metalworker, we were all kind of probably, maybe, would they have made a mythic? I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't.
Not sure.
But yeah, Plus, I've always loved the art on Metalworker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a scene from a cut segment of Fantasia. It's a cartoon robot, for God's sake.
I love the flavor text on it too.
What's that?
At this rate, I fully expect to be replaced by a clockwork golem by year's end. Baron.
Oh, poor Baron. Oh, Lord. So what else do we have in Artifact?
Those were the kind of big ones.
Yeah, nothing else for me.
What? No,
Yeah.
No, that was AJ who loved Thran Golem, wasn't it?
Yes.
I also like Thran Golem, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work as well as AJ could.
AJ was just had it on all the time. So
Huh.
no, I mean, Urza's incubator is cool for tribal decks, but
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
What if it costs 2 less?
I'm kind of glad Dirk never saw this card back in the day.
That's true.
We've seen very good variants on Powder Keg show up, and Powder Keg was very good at the time. You know, we've seen engineered explosives and Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Powder Keg just grew every upkeep, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you didn't have control over the growth. You only had control over when you activated it.
It was basically the artifact version of the song cards, like that got the verse counters, right?
Yes, it was very much in the vein of those.
Right.
Yeah. So Powder Keg for 2 mana says, at the beginning of your upkeep, let's go read the proper text. You may put a fuse counter on Powder Keg.
Oh, you may? Oh, okay.
I completely missed that. And then you can tap and sacrifice it to destroy each artifact and creature with converted mana cost equal to the number of fuse counters on Powder Keg. So you did have some control over it.
Okay.
Yeah. Neat. And then, yeah, so Urza's Incubator, since we mentioned it, for 3 mana, when it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type, and creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less. So that's pretty good. And then there's only one rare land, but it's Yavimaya Hollow, which is...
So this was part of the Mega cycle. And I can't remember whether we have noted those when they've shown up before. When we're
I
doing
think
Mythic
you have at least some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So what were the others?
So I have to do them in color order. So Core Haven was the white one. Teferi's Isle was the blue one. Volrath's Stronghold is the black one. Keldon Necropolis is the red one. And this is the green one.
So is this the last one?
No, Keldon Necropolis was printed later.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't do them in order because Teferi's Isle was first. And
Yeah,
then
that was back in, what?
and then the Stronghold, and then the
Visions?
Hollow, and then the Haven, and then the Necropolis.
Gotcha. But yeah, it taps for colorless mana, or you pay a green and tap to regenerate target creature.
Mm-hmm.
So not Mythic.
No.
But it's pretty good. It's got hippos and other, like some sort of moose thing. I can't tell what the seeded thing there is. Yavimaya has weird aminals. But we do have a pair of hippopotami, which makes everything better. Yay, hippos!
Yay.
How many hippo... Wait a minute. Alright, we're going to go completely off topic for just a hot second.
Okay.
Subtype. Hippo. Search.
2.
9.
9.
9.
Esther's
Nine.
other.
Oh,
Magic
it's counting
coming to?
hippogriffs.
Oh.
Okay. Bull Hippo, Defiant Great Maw, Lazotep Behemoth, Pygmy Hippo, rampaging hippo.
Okay. I know I forgot about the ones in Amonkhet block. I shouldn't have.
See, this is what happens when Wizards caters to all of these extra demographics. Like, we want more hippos represented in Magic, All of a sudden, we get up to 4 hippos. I mean, come on.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 5.
See, the rails are completely gone off the wheels, or the wheels are off the rails. I don't know.
This is Brian
I don't
doing
know a
his
single
best impression of toxic Magic fandom.
I don't know a single hippo that has come to me and said, I want more representation.
Oh, God.
I
See
feel
how
bad.
dumb that sounds, you people out there? Not that any of those people listen to this show, because we're way too accepting for that. But yeah. I do like that a bunch of these hippos are actually big, scary monsters, though, because hippos are, in fact, big, scary monsters.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
people over here in the West generally think they're basically lazy. The only time you ever see them is in a zoo, and what are they doing in the zoo?
Chilling.
Chilling. Apparently, they are responsible for lots of deaths, like
Yes.
lots.
They're extremely strong, and they can run pretty fast on land.
Yeah, way faster than they look like they should be able to. Plus,
Right.
if you ever read Congo, then you know to be terrified of hippos. And if you saw the movie, you
sorry.
might. But I loved the book. I don't remember much about the movie.
So so many Michael Crichton movies are books are better than the movie translations.
Oh,
I
God,
feel like we've talked about
Sphere.
this before.
Yeah, we have.
Sphere, yeah.
Sphere was like my favorite book ever for years and years and years. Basically until I read Good Omens. Sphere was my favorite book ever. We found out there's going to be a movie. It was going to have Dustin freaking Hoffman and Sharon freaking Stone. And then we saw it. This we being me and Scott. And then we saw it and we went.
And it had Samuel L. Jackson in it.
And Samuel L. Of course, this is before he was, Samuel L. Mother Humpin' Jackson.
Yeah.
But still.
A lot of compressed talent, and they did nothing with them.
And then we saw it, and we were like, oh.
Yeah, I remember I saw it with a friend, and we're coming out, and I'm like, wow, that was terrible. And he's like, I thought it was okay. And I loaned him the book, and he's like, wow, that movie was terrible after he finished reading it. So
I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Anyway.
One more thing on the subject of hippos. I remember reading a little anecdote that someone asked Steve Irwin during an interview what about the most dangerous moment he remembered from filming his TV show. And the one he brought up almost immediately was a moment where they had to get in a boat and cross a river very close to a pod of hippos. He said he was just super frightened the entire time, really worried. But yeah, that was the most dangerous moment of Steve Irwin's career.
Yeah, when you think about the nonsense that you saw him do on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I miss Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
When the old man was in the hospital for his the kidney stones and the bladder infection thing, I actually watched like 3 or 4 episodes of the new Irwin show.
Oh yeah.
And it's really good.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh. Anyway, it's the his wife and the kids and whatnot. They have the massive zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just all about that show. I don't have cable anymore, so I don't actually watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But like while it was on there, I actually got into it. I'm like, oh my God. And every time the intro would come on, I'd tear up because, it's got that like Steve Irwin thing. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Anyway, I'm an old softie. I did this is how softy I am. I did a delivery today. I picked up some donuts from a donut shop. And like I said, the weather today was god awful all day. It was actually the last delivery I did before we started the show. I picked up some donuts, and the woman behind the counter goes, "Oh, let me get you a bag for the two," is the big flat box of donuts and then two smaller things. "So let me get you a bag for the two smaller things." I said, "Okay, thank you." She put them in the bag, and then she goes, "Wait a minute," and she gets this other bag, and she walks away and comes back and goes, "These are for you." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "It's a donut and some donut holes for coming out in the rain." And I was like, "Oh, oh, oh, thank you so much." Anyway, they were delicious.
Nom nom.
So anyway, I guess, are we done? Do a nice short episode. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I think we can be good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. You know what? Before we do the final thoughts, I'm going to mix it up some. I just would like to point out that Manipool Productions on the whole is a Patreon supported endeavor. So, if you would like to help support what I do here on the Manipool, both for the Manipool podcast, Monday Night Magic podcast, the YouTube channel where there's at least one YouTube video that goes up every day, and all of the Twitch streams throughout the week, then the best, most direct way to do that is to go to patreon.com/themanipool and become a lifeguard. Lifeguards get a variety of perks. You can get Manipool episodes and YouTube videos early. So if you've really been itching for the Untitled Goose Game videos, there's 2 more up right now that haven't gone public yet.
Ooh.
I know, right? You can get access to the odds and ends, which is all of the nonsense recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manipool. That's uncensored and unfiltered. And you get to hear big news about certain people, and you get to hear Clues swear, and you get to find out if Brian's colon is fine or not.
Spoiler alert. Wait, no, you have to pay for that.
Anyway, what was the other thing? Oh, and if you're feeling extra generous, you can become a Mythic lifeguard and get the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts and on the end screen for all the YouTube videos. And that gets you the shout out. So I would like to thank our Mythic lifeguards: Jason Doan, Kim Maho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Timu Hellas Haru, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Scuzzo, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Sophia Bertain, Casey, Fayed Says, Danny Liao, Cody Buckowing, Jake Janssens, Jason Kaus, John Parker, Violet Moon, Aleph Cat, Beardy Man, Bartle, Backwards Logic, ALK Alters, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. So thank you all for your support. I quite literally could not do this without you. This staggering amount of free content. Yay.
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 All right,
Yay.
so how about the final thoughts then?
So, I guess for my final thought, it was an interesting experience today. As I think Chewie said earlier, I think this was after we started recording.
I think
The
so.
weather locally has been kind of crazy. And as I said to these guys before, I actually had to pick up my daughter from school early today because they were closing school because of rain. Now, it's a little more complicated than that because there was flooding, like lots of flooding. So the kids were going to get out of school at noon. So rather than have her go to the after school activity that she usually goes to, I said, you know what? Called the school, had her sign up for the car rider list because I didn't have any court in the afternoon. I was going to pick her up, take her home, and get some stuff done around the house in the afternoon. I get there about 10 before noon, waiting a little while. Gets to be a little afternoon. I'm like, we're not moving. Waiting a while longer. And then Carrie texts me and she's like, oh, by the way, we just got an announcement from the school but they're delaying releasing the kids until the weather clears up a little bit. And I'm like, I guess I kind of get that because it's coming down pretty hard. But I'm like, the whole point I'm here is because of the bad weather.
Yo, wait, so the weather's bad, so we're gonna let the kids out early. But the weather's bad, so we're gonna hold the kids longer.
Yeah, I ended up getting up to her and picking her up. I wasn't at the front of the line, but I was not the last person in line or close to the last person in line. I got her sometime between 12:45 and 12:50.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And by then, my car really needed gas. Like, it was actually yelling at me, and I'm like, yeah, so I guess I got to drive around in the rain a little more. But so it was just kind of a weird, interesting experience. Wanted to share that. Otherwise, we're doing fine. I've got a CLE, that's a continuing legal education class tomorrow. So, yeah. And we're super busy this weekend with the consignment sale and cheerleading pictures for Sam's cheerleading class, cheerleading squad, and other stuff going on. This is a super busy weekend. So, but otherwise, life is good. And I'm thinking I'm going to duck out now. You gentlemen have a wonderful evening.
Night, B.
All right.
Does anybody else needs me for anything? No? Okay.
No.
All right. Bye-bye.
Let's see. For my final thought, I really don't have a specific one myself.
Did you get out early today?
I did. This looking at all at the counties I've been in and everything. Apparently this was not a Brian and where our kids are. We got out early. Where I was before got out early. It looks like this was like the entire state, or a good chunk of the state got out early. So it's just, again, that's how big and terrible this all was. That this was a fairly substantial storm, and it feels like we've been in monsoon season, because it's been doing this for what, 2 weeks now, a week and a half.
Not to this extent, but yeah, it has been rainy for that long.
And I think like all of next week it's supposed to continue raining.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like I say, it's just been interesting to see the amount of rain and how everyone sort of reacted to this. We already have so my kids have a 2-hour delay, and while we were podcasting, I got a phone call from my county, and we're on a 2-hour delay tomorrow.
Jeez.
So yeah,
And like I said, I was out delivering in this basically all day. I added up my hours after I got home. I was door dashing for 4.5 hours today.
Wow.
Because no one wanted to leave the house or leave the office or leave anywhere to go out and get food. Well, at least you get to sleep in tomorrow, right, Dirk?
yeah, I'll probably sleep in a little bit.
I was going to say, do you get to sleep in?
The answer is kind of, sort of, maybe.
Gotcha.
I can, but the real question is, should I? Because that means I can get some work done. Maybe.
That sounds awful.
Maybe. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a particular final thought or anything of that sort. Last week it really just felt like there was a lot of stuff that just came down the pipe. I have gotten a chance to play Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, and I don't know if it's really worth the amount of money I paid for it, but it's content that I really enjoyed. I've only beaten 2 of the data bosses, and they are some hard individuals.
Wait, what game is this?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay.
So
I
in
thought
it,
there was
there's
like another word after that.
Kingdom
I
Hearts
was like, did they
Remind is the
re-release Kingdom Hearts 3
expansion.
already?
Yeah, they did the DLC is Remind,
Oh, it's
And-
DLC. Okay.
and what's you get to fight the 13 bosses.
Oh.
Or there's it's the major antagonists that are in the game, and you get to
Mhm.
fight them. And unlike when you play the actual game itself, like the story mode, these guys are balls to the wall. Like they are cranked up to 10 on the difficulty scale. I have died to all of them at this point a minimum of 8 times. And I've only beaten 2 of them. And yeah, because the only reason why I was able to beat a couple of them is I finally figured out some of their patterns, and even then, one of them, young Xehanort, I only beat him. I don't know how I beat him, to be frankly honest, because I almost beat him one time, but then I ran out of potions and all that on my list, and then the time I just beat him recently, both of us were down to almost to like literally nothing health wise, and I just happened to get the last blow. Just happened to land the blow that did it, because if he had hit me first, I would have lost, because I had no green left on my life bar. I mean, I was like at 1 health,
Mhm.
and so again, it was just it was a fight. But yeah, this helps you get to the secret ending. That's supposed to kind of lay the groundwork of what's happened to Sora and all of this, because Kingdom Hearts 3 has just an absolutely wonderful, simple story that goes with it. That has
I'm
no
sorry, did I make that
twists or
noise out
turns and-
loud?
yeah, it has no twists or turns and just makes absolute sense and just goes, oh, that's kind of cool. That sets you up for the next game. Now this one, it just makes the secret ending that I was able to unlock gives you absolutely no idea what's coming next. It just makes you go, huh? What happened to him? And yeah, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in the next one. I do know that they said that there will be no additional DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. This is it.
Oh, okay.
And whatever the next mainline game, like they're kind of figuring out what's going to happen. That doesn't mean it's going to be out anytime soon. It could be 3 years from now. It could be 10 years from now, like this last one was. Like I said, we'll find out. And with that, that would be my final thought.
Fair enough. Okay then.
That's you, Mike.
All right. I remember one time Brian and I drove down to Atlanta for a GP, and at some point along the way, Brian decided we had gotten to talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I had some questions for him about the story. And Brian was like, "Okay, I'm going to see if I can do it. I'm going to try to give you an overview of the entire Kingdom Hearts story, beginning to end." And thank goodness we were driving to Atlanta. Otherwise, he might not have had enough time to finish it. 'Cause goodness gracious, that was something else. Listening to that whole spiel. I'll also never forget the moment at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 where dude's like, "Behold, Kingdom Hearts," and I'm like, "What? I don't understand what you're talking about."
The game, Mike, the game. You're playing the game. Behold it. It was very meta.
Um, what else? I guess the only other final thought I had was that it really does seem like nowadays school systems are just more willing to say, you know what, I'm calling it 2-hour delay, over certain weather conditions and stuff like that. Because it makes perfect sense when you think about, horrible, horrible rain, or it's like super, super cold. Or it's just, not safe to stand outside waiting for the bus until it warms up a little more.
Yeah.
But I just don't remember stuff like that happening when we were kids. Getting breaks like that for conditions like this.
Well, I think the big concern, because when we had the tornado warning come through,
Mm-hmm.
we were told, okay, make sure you put, kids go to safe areas of the classroom, keep them away from windows and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did all that, and I'm talking to the kids during all of it, and we were told, or I was told by one of the faculty members earlier in the day that, yeah, we've had where tornado warning, and kids are texting their parents, and their parents are coming to try and get them out of the school and everything, and it created a big hassle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking to the kids, they're texting their parents and everything, and I'm telling them, you might not want to get taken out of the school, because you do understand this school is the safest place you could be right now. Because if a tornado comes through and you're at home, your house, houses are generally made out of wood.
Mm-hmm.
This school is made out of concrete. This school will survive a tornado. Your house will not. And yeah, my kids, apparently I actually have some common sense minded students, because they're going, no, we're just texting to make sure our parents are okay. Like we're checking in on our parents, because they're thinking to themselves, no, we understand. We would rather be at school right now. Because we understand school is the safest place for us right now. And I'm going, oh, I do have some students with some common sense, as opposed to those that have no common sense. They're like, no, Mom, come and get me, because, be safe. And going, okay, that if that tornado rolls through and your parents are out there waiting on you, they're going to be taken off somewhere, and you're going to be left with no parents, or you're going to be in the car when it gets taken off with.
Dirk's a very glass half full kind of guy. Can you tell? Stay here, you're all gonna die.
I'm just one to be like, to just tell them the way it is. I've always been sort of you're probably doing better by staying here, guys.
Yeah, the first thing I did when I saw that there was a tornado warning was look out the window and listen real carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called the old man. Hey, there's a tornado warning. You all right? And he's like, I know, right? And then I talked to him for a minute, and I said, what are you going to do if you see a tornado? He's like, I'm going to go get in the front bathroom. I said, good call. Okay, you be safe. And I hung up, and suddenly I was afraid there was one outside, because the wind started to gust so hard that it was raining sideways directly into my front door. So it sounded like someone it turned a hose on my front door. And I went, Jesus! So of course I did the thing you're not supposed to do. I jumped up, ran to the front door, and opened it. And looked out and said, there's not a tornado out here. It's just really windy. And then my pants were wet. And I went, damn it, because I'd peed. Well, no, because the wind was blowing the rain at me. Mm. And then, like 5 minutes later, a plane went over. And you know what they tell you about tornadoes?
Yeah.
Tell you it sounds like a train coming at you. And all of a sudden I heard, roar, and I'm like, what the hell is that? It was just a plane going over low. And I did not need that kind of stress. And then I saw that DoorDash turned busy, and the first order that I got was in the other direction. I went, yes. So Ugh. Anyway, by the way, I know it's late to mention this, but if any of you out there are interested in doing the DoorDash thing, let me know before you sign up. I'll get you to use my referral link, because with the referral link, if you actually do 200 orders in like 2 months, I get like a big chunk of cash. Like the referral bonus is impossible to hit almost, but if you do hit it, it's insane. Like I know that if I do 200 orders within 2 months, then Amanda gets, it's a lot. This isn't like $50. Like, damn. So it varies by region, but still.
So let's think. So if you have a nice round 20 working days, that's 5 orders a day for 2 months straight. It's not trivial.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Like I figured it up. It's roughly 25 orders a week, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 2 months. Yeah. And I hit like, well, hang on, I can look real quick. Where is that? Ratings? I have 58 lifetime deliveries, and it's been under 2 weeks. So I'm already ahead of the curve.
Good.
But yeah. Like I said, if it's a thing you're thinking of doing, let me know. I'll get your referral link. That way, help me out. If you're going to do it. And even if you're not going to do it for very long, still, hit me up. I'll send you a link just in case you like it and you stick with it. Ow. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Are we done? Yeah, we're done. Mike, are you done?
I'm done.
All right. So, hey, I already did the Patreon thing, but what's going on right now? We do Monday Night Magic on Monday nights here on twitch.tv/themanapool. We do the Manapool on Thursday nights. And then on other nights of the week, I'm streaming the video games. Like I do in the last little while I played through Untitled Goose Game, which was hilarious. That's going up on youtube.com/themanapool started today. The Galakron's Awakening chapters I've been streaming. I streamed Skyrim a few times, 2 times in fact. Both the first time was for 6 hours, the second time was for 5, because that game is so chill that like time just runs away, and I'm like, oh okay. I did a Super Bowl Skyrim stream for anyone who didn't want to watch the big game, and it lasted for longer than the big game. By the way, go Chiefs, I guess. The Chiefs won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yes, correct.
I was like, oh wait, no, because if I said go other team, they'd be like, that's messed up, man. I'm sorry, I forgot. But so yeah, what's going up on YouTube right now? Untitled Goose Game and Galakron's Awakening, and I also bought the Dragon Master bundle on Hearthstone, which was 25 Year of the Dragon packs, which isn't a normal thing. It's packs that contain cards from the entire year. So that was neat. And I'm going to do the is the Dragon Master bundle worth it video like I did for the Winter Wonder bundle. So, yeah. That'll be going up very soon because that's the one I edited and uploaded today. But anyway, soon I will be doing other things. I've always I did 2 back-to-back videos of a look forward. I look back to 2019 just to talk about some of the videos and all the games I played and whatnot for content that last year. And then I did look ahead to what I want to do in 2020. And just rattled through just a big list of games that I really want to play for content. And I think I could actually get through most of that list this year and have time left over. Because I looked at the howlongtobeat.com times for a bunch of those games, and a bunch of them were like 3 hours. I'm like, that's 1 stream. Like 6 hours, that's 2 streams. This is easy. So it's possible that I'll be able to get through all of those and more this year And that's the hope. That would be awesome. And I've got the Bill Clinton point. You know, the thumb with the index finger wrapped around it that he always did for emphasis? That's what's going on right now, even though you can't see me because there's no face cam. I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe I'm going to run for office. Anyway. So yeah, that's what's going on here on the on Manipool Productions on YouTube and Twitch. I'm going to do Galakron's Awakening until it's done. I don't know how many chapters there are, but every week those will be going up, and then I got to come up with another game to do next. Probably another like short one. I always close Steam when we're doing the show, so I can't just open up Steam and go, oh, I know, this week I'll play this, and they'll be going up on YouTube next week. So I don't know, but it's going to be something, trust me. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to shut up now. So this has been the Manipool number 581. Right? 581, yeah. Thank you all. I can't count. I can't read. I'm tired. I'm waterlogged. It's disgusting. Thank you all so very much for joining us. And go play some Magic.